All right. Hey everyone. Let's see if everything okay. Yep, everything seems to be okay. All right, welcome. This is going to be a really cool series because we're gonna learn a lot. Okay, we're gonna be building an application, a resume application that uses AI to match your resume against job listings and to like give you any suggestions on how to optimize it. First and foremost, welcome back. So it's been a while since I did a live stream. I think it's been like 2 or 3 months, and I miss it. So yeah, I did some changes in my studio as well. So if, for example, if there's like any issues with sound or etc., do let me know. I'm still testing things out. All right, we got some comments in the chat. Cinematic Quest, eagerly waiting for this series. Honestly, I'm so excited that we're gonna be doing this because I think it's time for me to get into, AI a little bit and Python and Django. So yeah, but we're gonna talk about the idea and everything. Sibran, hello, are you a millionaire yet? Not yet, but let's see. Maybe I will become. All right, so let me introduce you the idea. Of course, I briefly mentioned what we're going to be building, but the idea is to learn Django and AI and to build a resume application just like JobRite, and I'm going to show it to you. Just like JobRite, where, for example, we upload our resumes and we are going to we're gonna basically crawl job listing sites, try to get the links, summarize it, or classify all of the tokens from that job listing, and then somehow compare the CV or the resume against that job listing. So it gives you a little, it gives you a little score. I'm gonna show you JobRite, but yeah. And as I mentioned, the reason behind this live stream is going to be, first and foremost, it's going to be educational. So the idea is that we are going to learn Django and AI from scratch. And I'm not talking about like using the OpenAI. I'm not talking about using the OpenAI API, but I'm actually talking about building our own our own machine learning models, deploying them on our own server, and basically, basically like doing the AI, not just like using the AI that someone else built. No, we're actually trying to train our own models, deploy our models to servers, and we're gonna figure out also how to deploy them because I did just a little bit research and it's not as simple. Okay, you need servers with GPUs and they're pretty expensive. So there's definitely going to be some level of like infrastructure and trying to optimize the costs, because if in order to become millionaires, we need to optimize costs, right, Sibrin? So yeah, that's the general idea. Just build like I would say a simple app. Like let's not like set our goals too high for this, because I don't know Django. I barely know Python. I'm a huge stranger to machine learning, etc. But yeah, let's see how far we can go. Love to hear the reason why using Python and Django. Yeah, I mean, we could have done this in a JavaScript framework, but if we're building our own models and interfacing with machine learning and AI tools, I think Python is the way to go, right? With all this upcoming series of this app, be for membership only. I'm gonna do a test, a little experiment to see if people are willing to pay for something like this. So right now it's free, right? You're watching me, we're having a conversation, we're having fun. it's gonna be free, and I'm going to leave it for free for like a few days. But then I don't know, after a few days, I'm going to convert some of these episodes to members only. Not all of them. For example, I'll leave this one for free, so like people can see what's up, and you know, the whole series. But yeah, some of them I might convert them to a membership only as an experiment. Let's see, you know, if we don't become millionaires from our AI powered application, we might become millionaires from the memberships we sell. So so let's, you know, let's see how that goes. Then what an adventure. How long do you estimate it? Yeah, I want to talk about that. So, and this is going to be a slow burn. Okay, we are going to be working on this for a long time. It's not going to be a quick series. It's not going to be like like I did with the clean architecture, although that was long as well. Like we did 9 episodes, 4 hours each. That's not short. That's 20 plus hours worth of content. But we're gonna do something like the clean architecture project, where we are figuring things out right now during the live stream, right? Using your inputs, the input from the chat, etc., etc. We're figuring things out. And then when we have the aha moments, we can circle back. I mean, I can circle back and create like you know, like a video or a course or something like that, and put it up on YouTube, and basically extract the knowledge in that way, you know. So that's how we're gonna do. But yeah, it's gonna be a long stream. It's gonna be a long stream because I am starting and getting into this as a complete beginner, as a complete noob. So it's gonna be fun. I started learning Django full stack. I'm also new to Python. Yeah. Let's see how far we can go. Indeed, using it for your own AI machine, it would make sense to use Python. Yeah. Of course, you'll be millionaire from membership because you have lit content. Thank you. Yeah, let's see how we, you know, let's see the litness of the content we produce with this series. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh wait, we're not done yet. The tech stack. Let's go back. Let's talk about the tech stack. So as I mentioned, Django and React. And I'm thinking of splitting those two. So for example, I'm thinking about either client-side React, because we are gonna need, I guess we're gonna need some JavaScript on the server. I'm not sure if we need server-side rendering, but if we do, I'm thinking let's go with React Router. So we keep things, you know, client-side, but if we decide that we wanna do server-side, we might implement the remix part of React Router without, you know, needing to change frameworks, etc. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Regardless on the web dev part, Django for the backend, and Django will handle the database, you know, interaction. It will handle the user authentication. Basically, that's going to be the brain of the operation, Django. And we're also going to have a React application, and I'm thinking client side, just because, you know, it's going to be much cheaper to host that. I mean, we can just put it up on Cloudflare on the CDN. It's going to be cached. It's going to be real fast, right? But we'll put the Django server somewhere. We'll see. I did some research. I mean, that's for the web dev part, right? I did some research on the AI and machine learning part, and I'm thinking we go serverless, because to me it looks like going serverless would be the most cost effective, you know, method or approach to run this application for reals, like in production. Because, you know, serverless being serverless, that means it's going to only boot up a server or you know, it's serverless, but, you know, a function. It's only going to boot up a function when people are using it. But then, like, after 15 minutes of inactivity, it's going to turn it off. So it's not going to spend money, right? if we were to have a dedicated machine, as I did my research, the cheapest we can get would be like 600 euros, which is like what, 800 US dollars per month. So that's a bit salty for for an educational project. So we're not gonna do that, but we are going to try. We're gonna try serverless ML, serverless machine learning. And in order to achieve serverless, we can't really go on a on a VPS. We can't really go on a Hetzner instance and put everything there, because that's going to be long running, right? But that's a classic server. I think we're gonna have to go to, for example, Amazon and use SageMaker and those tools, which I have zero knowledge of and experience, and use those tools to actually achieve that serverless mode of running our ML applications and models. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. That's like a rough plan that I have for this application. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, streaming schedule. We're gonna do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like every other work day. And we're gonna do 3 hours per stream, except for today. We are going to cut short 1 hour. So we're gonna do 2 hours today. Yeah. And yeah, same time, 9 a.m. EST on the East Coast. Vercel, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. All right, let me catch up with some of these messages. Gonna be cool to see how you learn stuff. I need some help finding a good way. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Just finished your Learn with Jason video. It was awesome. Honestly, that was a really, really cool hangout. Like, Jason is a great guy. Is it worth to learn Django REST framework, as there are many backend tech stack? You mean like, is it worth to learn Django, the DRF, like the plugin or framework for Django? We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking we do plain Django at first, so that we know the framework before putting other tooling on top of it. But we'll see. Yeah. Greetings from Colombia. Hey Juan. Vercel, yeah, we'll see. And Sofia Aristo, pozdrav kolega. Thanks for joining. We haven't talked in like years. Let's catch up. SSD, Next.js, and Hono. I've been looking at SSD. And let's see, for those of you who don't know, here's what SSD is. Of course, ssd.dev. Let me actually zoom in. So SSD is something like Terraform. It uses Pulumi under the hood. It is a infrastructure as code tool that lets you basically do this. You see? Here's a database, and then here's an email service. Here's the API with this memory and this Docker image, and here's a Next.js application. And when you say deploy, it will basically create a planet scale database. This will use the Amazon AWS. What was that? The email service, whichever it is. Yeah. It's going to be probably an EC2 instance, and the Next.js is like a complex stack. Basically, you write this and it will set up all of the servers that you need for you. Because the JavaScript part is going to be only the React frontend and everything else is going to be in Django, I'm not sure we can use SSD for this project. I mean, maybe we can, because SSD does support like Docker images and stuff like that. But I'm not sure, we're going to have to figure out. We're going to have to see if having that little Docker image of our Django application can be just like put into SSD and then just thrown around on AWS. Of course, this will take care of the front-end hosting for us. It's going to put it in, what was the name? CloudFront, with a bunch of caching, etc. So yeah, we'll see. It's not gonna be free, but it's not gonna be like it's gonna be like, I don't know, $5-10 a month tops for medium traffic. So yeah, we'll see. Cinematic Quest, by the way, watching you from Nepal. Awesome, thank you for tuning in. All right, so how do we begin? I think we should draw some diagrams. Let's go to, I usually use this application, Eraser, for diagrams and stuff like that because it has AI. Let's actually go. Yeah, let's actually use Eraser. Here's the clean architecture. If you haven't seen this one, it's pretty cool. You should go check it out on my YouTube channel. But let's create a blank file here. And I'm going to name this one. How do we name this? Give me a good example on the application name. It's gonna be the the AI resume application. Right now I'm not gonna name it, but we have a text file on the left and we have a canvas on the right. So let's do something like features, right? The application is going to receive resumes, right? Users can. Marco, are you following clean architecture for this project? I don't have any plans for that. I've done, for example, the Learn with JSON episode that we mentioned like a few minutes ago. That was in DDD style. It wasn't really a clean architecture, but I felt something was missing in there. So I kind of liked clean architecture more, but that was just a project that I built. I basically saw from one open source repo. So yeah. Nenad, is this going to be OSS? I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep it closed source for now, but we'll see. Nevertheless, it's gonna be fun anyways. Yeah, this might become a thing, so, you know, I don't want to like put it out there, you know. But yeah. All right, so let's figure out some features for, at least for the MVP, right? We're not gonna build a whole startup out of this one, but let's just define what is the minimum viable product that we want to build, so we can say, okay, we achieved something tangible, we achieved something minimal, something usable, a little tool that does something, right? And that's going to be, users can then they're gonna upload their resumes, right? They're gonna get their CVs, their resumes, and they're gonna upload them. And how do we say this? Can upload their resumes. Let's just say, yeah, to the platform, right? Let me zoom in a bit more so you can see. In the meantime, please give me a good name for this project. I have no idea, so like how we can name this. But yeah, users can upload their resumes to the platform. Users can, how about this one? How about, instead of, as an MVP, instead of like crawling a whole bunch of job sites, like job listing sites, how about we career AI? Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah. How about we do this? Instead of scrolling, why don't we get a link? You know, like as a user, I can, for the MVP at least, I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna create an account, log in, upload my resume. My resume gets like scanned and summarized, and, you know, basically get all the tokens out of there, classify them, build like a mini profile or an actual profile in the database from my resume. And then once that's ready, I can copy any like link from a job site that's basically public. All of them are public, right? It's a job listing. It has to be public. So copy that link and put it up in the app, hit send, and then the app goes to the link, crawls it, right? It gets all of the text. It understands the listing, the position, the requirements. You know, you need Django, you need React, you need DevOps, you need Docker, yada, yada, yada. You know, is it an internship? Is it a senior job listing? And once that's done, it basically gives you that little score, you know. So this can be asynchronous, right? But as an MVP, I think that should be good, right? There's no jobs in there. We could build them later on. There's always the possibility, but to keep things simple and to have somewhat of a achievable goal, let's do that. Just upload a CV, you get a profile out of it. Once that's done, you get a link of a job listing from any website, and we're gonna crawl it, understand the listing, and then we're gonna match it against your profile, right? And then we'll try, okay, your profile, for example, you have listed that you have this many years of experience, 3, but this one requires a 6+ because it's like a senior or a staff engineer, right? So you don't really, I don't want to say you don't have a chance, but you know, there's a huge difference. You have 3 years of experience and this one is a 6+ type of listing. So have that in mind. You have React, and this one is requiring Vue.js, etc. So yeah, I think for an MVP, that's going to be better than, you know, going all in, crawling a bunch of sites, figuring things out. Yeah, just upload their resumes to the platform and which will build their profile, right? So they're uploading the resumes on the platform, and the platform will basically summarize it, build a profile, and keep all of those, you know, information in the database. And then after that, they can paste a job listing URL, right, like a job page, and have their profile matched, or not matched, compared against it, right, in terms of experience, tech stack. Yeah, let's keep it just for, you know, software engineers right now. We can see if we can expand it, right? In terms of experience, in terms of tech stack, I don't know, location even, right? Preferences, remote versus hybrid versus on-site, etc., etc. Education, and yeah, we're not gonna get into it. But yeah, basically give me a job listing. I already have your profile, so give me a job listing. I'm gonna crawl it, and I'm gonna basically say, this is how much chances you have to apply for this, right? I don't want to use that word, it sounds bad, but you know, let's just, for the sake, you know, for the lack of better words, compare and give us the chances of, you know, us getting or applying and getting a job on this listing. So yeah, I think these 2 simple features will be enough, but they cover a lot of stuff, right? First we have users. Let's see, let's do a little, you know, a little to do. Is there like a check? How do we, that's this checklist. All right, Command Shift and 7 says. Beautiful. Okay, so this can be the checklists, and I'm actually gonna share this with you. Anyone with the link can view. There we go. Okay, just, you know, if you wanna check it out, if you wanna see where we are and diagrams and stuff, and also let me know if the link works. There it is, should be up in the chat now. But yeah, first, just the, you know, set up Django and React projects. Okay, I see a couple of you, so the link must work. Yeah, set up Django and React projects. We're gonna basically do one repo with a folder like packages or apps or whatever, and then inside we'll have all of the projects, right? Eric, thanks. All right, set up Django and React projects. Before we do that though, let's think about deployment and stuff. Should we use, I guess the resume AI roasting, I mean rewriting, it isn't MVP. What do you mean? What do you, I don't get that, Sibrin. Okay, I was thinking of thinking about deployments and stuff. Should we go to Amazon? I think we have to go to Amazon, to AWS. Oh, like Resume AI. Is that? Let's see. Is that like available? Resume AI. There's a resume.io. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be like apps like this. Only 2% of resumes win. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, yeah. Oh, there's something. Resume AI. It's taken. Let's see career AI. Career flow. Your career copilot. TL job right. This is the app that I saw and prompted me to do this. All right. Oh, let's see. Got some chats. Let's catch up with them. Are you choosing Django to prototype the MVP, or you have another reason for using Django? No, I'm actually gonna use Django all the way, and the idea with it is just to, it's Python. We're gonna interface with our own machine learning model, so let's just go with it, that's the reason. Will the backend be scalable? That's the idea. We're most likely gonna use AWS. We're gonna configure like auto scalability and stuff like that. And yeah. All right, so career AI is also taken. We're gonna think about something, but we need job right. That sounds really cool. Job rights. All right, this is interesting. I haven't seen this one. People, GPT, or Build Space, Sage. Let me see what those are. Yeah, I guess, yeah. In this episode, we'll just, explore some of the tools out there, think out loud how we can approach, tackling this project. But yeah, figure out deployment. And in parentheses, I'll just say most likely AWS, because it has Docker, it has like EC2 instances. It can auto scale for us, which we need at the beginning, because if we were to do this for reals, like build an actual product with it and put a price on it, and we most likely will put a price, because if it costs us, then we need to justify that cost somehow, so we gotta put a price on it. But if this thing if we see it as like a real product, then yeah, we need to have like scale to 0 to minimize the cost, because it'll AI with GPU servers, dedicated ones, that's gonna kill us. So yeah, we need to figure out deployments. We need to set up Django and React projects. What else? Let's check out the People GPT now. We'll figure out the name later. People GPT. The AI platform for recruiting. People GPT, the AI search engine that understands who you're looking for. Interesting. All right, yeah, this looks cool. You have searches on the left. Software engineers in San Francisco from top growth stage fintech companies, skilled in Python and AWS. That's basically the query. All right, so this would be an interesting feature to our project as well, because we're gonna have the profiles, and this could be like a different actor in the whole setup. Instead of a job seeker, we're gonna have HR or job headhunters, yeah. That type of a profile, which will search these profiles. Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless, and it's pretty big space with like CVs and companies and stuff. So yeah, this would be a cool feature to have, like a like down the road. Definitely not for the MVP, but down the road we could have a different type of account where companies will be looking for, are looking for people. So it's gonna be cool. Avi Web, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining. All right, this is cool. You know, Juicebox. Let me actually create a new section here. Interesting resources. And I'm gonna put this here because, you know, we can take a look later. And for those of you who are joining late, I guess you can see the chat. Scroll up, you'll see a message from me. If you want access to this document that we're currently building. All right, let's check out the other thing. Build space Sage. This was Build Space. Okay, we were the biggest school in the world for people who wanted to work on their own ideas. Thank you for the memories. Love you. Oh no, this doesn't look happy. Hey Edward. Seek AI. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's go here. And of course, put another name suggestions. Seek AI, career AI. What was the other one? Career AI, Seek AI, and there was another cool one. Oh, Sibran that did the resume. Yeah, it seems to be deprecated. Okay, I've heard of Build Space. I haven't, you know, researched more into Build Space to learn what they do, but okay, so yeah, this is a really long letter. We're not gonna go through this because it's irrelevant to us. But yeah, Sage, when we are Sage, like Sage Maker is the machine learning service by AWS that I think we can leverage as a serverless, in a serverless fashion, because if we go to pricing, there's a free tier and we can register for a free account and we'll have like free for the first 2 months. Cool, why not? You know, anything we can do to cut down the cut down all the stuff. But basically look at the price per hour table here. Let me actually zoom in. The price per hour reveals some interesting prices depending on the sizes of these, right? We have like 3.6, we have 0.23 or 0.115, right? 0.05 even, but this is a pretty small machine, so it might not be enough for our project. But yeah, this means that if, for example, we have a serverless approach to this, and our app has been used, I don't know, like 40 hours in the month, we can times, let's pick this one, 0.922. It's gonna cost us $36 for that month, which is a lot smaller than like 600 to 800, right? So that's better. And I also need to understand so like this is Studio Classic. I have no idea what that is, right? Offers one-step Jupyter notebooks in the IDE. Okay, that's not really what we're after, right? We need a training one if we cannot get away to train our models on our own machine, like my machine. If I can like have it run whole night, maybe that's going to be a case, to shave down some of that cost. But we definitely are going to need the inference, asynchronous or serverless inference, actually. Yeah, this one. Xerox, they have some nice and easy deployments. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Xerox. Let me actually developer first, cloud platform. Okay, is this like AI related stuff? Do they have like machine learning? Or you basically say I need this and they do that for you? Okay, I understand. Yeah. You basically define your environment like this and they host it for you. Yeah, we're gonna check this out. But let's check out this. Like, inference means using the ML model. Let's say we have an ML model and we have it deployed on AWS. In order to use that model through our API, we need inference. That's what I learned. So in order to have inference, you need to have an endpoint that is like attached to the actual model, right? The model is a binary file that's run like a process on a server, and the inference gives us that endpoint that we can interact with the model, right? So we need serverless inference. Enables you to deploy machine learning models for inference. That's what we need, not training, right? We can isolate, we can split those two. If we can train our models somewhere else that's going to be cheaper than AWS, sure, we're going to get those models, exporting them. We're going to export them in a file, and we're going to host them for inference. So when we do that, we are going to deploy our pre-trained production-ready machine learning models for inference so that we can use them without configuring or managing any of the underlying infrastructure. You can either use on-demand serverless inference or add provisioned concurrency. I guess that's like have at least minimum of 1 or 2 machines or megabytes, I don't know, to your endpoint for predictable performance. With on-demand serverless inference, you only pay for the compute capacity used to process inference requests, built by the millisecond, and the amount of data processed. The compute charge depends on the memory configuration you choose. This is going to be hard to compute or to predict, because I have no idea. But yeah, there's also, in terms of megabytes, I don't know what that is. And here are the prices per second. Wow. Okay. Let's get that 40 hours, right? 40 hours worth times 60 minutes times 60 seconds times some of these numbers. Let's get the 6 number. 0. How many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. That's $8.64 dollars for 40 hours with this configuration, just for the inference, right? Just for the inference. And then there's also data processing. I guess that's like included. But $8 for 40 hours of inference, I guess that's fine, right? If that was $8 and then this is like 1200 and this is 600, then we're talking about $16 with the maximum memory, right? Okay, interesting. And then there's the provision concurrency. We might need to look into that, or I don't know. You can enable provision concurrency for your serverless endpoints. Provision concurrency allows you to deploy models on serverless endpoints with predictable performance and high scalability by keeping your endpoints warm for a specified number of concurrent requests and specified time. This is interesting, right? So the warm thing, not warm, but warm, that is when you, that's like what's a condition when you use serverless. So basically when nobody uses your app, there aren't going to be any servers or functions functioning or turned on to service your requests. And then when suddenly people start to use your app, for example, if it's like people use it from 9 to 5, at 5:15 everything goes down. Nobody uses your app, so no servers are serving your app. But at 9 in the morning, when everybody starts to log in and use your application, the first user or the first few users are going to have a bit of a slowdown until the infrastructure basically boots up and starts to serve your requests. So that's the warm part. There's a cold start and there's a warm start. Cold start, that means a few seconds will be already spent in just booting up everything before the service starts to handle your requests. This provisioned concurrency basically keeps a few concurrent requests, like keeps a few endpoints warm, so that in case someone sends a request, there's gonna be like at least one endpoint pre-warmed, so the user won't have to wait for a few seconds for the call starts, right? It's gonna be faster. As with on-demand serverless inference, when provisioned concurrency is enabled, you pay for the compute capacity used to process inference requests, billed by the milliseconds, and then the amount of data processed. So there we go. The amount of data is included. You also pay for provisioned concurrency usage based on the memory configured, duration provisioned, and amount of concurrency enabled. And these are the prices for that. Basically, these are the prices for provisioned concurrency versus inference. So do we add these? I don't know. We'll see. But basically, yeah. Oh, this is cool. They also give us like a spec of the machine. For example, this one. Okay, interesting. All right, so I think this would be like the cheapest approach, because if no one uses this application, and of course, you know, nobody is going to use it at the very start, at the very beginning, it's not going to cost us a lot. It's going to cost us every time we try to use it. So that's the, you know, I think this will make sense. We'll see how we can, like, you know, spin up. Yeah, definitely AWS, but I'm going to convert this to a... Nope, I don't want to. Just want to do this. There we go. And it's serverless. Serverless SageMaker. Okay. For the AI part, and then for the React part, we might as well, we can use SST for that if we wanted to, you know, because it's just going to deploy the React parts. And the idea is that we should keep everything in AWS, because AWS charges for data outgress and ingress, which means if we have our server somewhere else, it's going to charge us for all of the requests, like additionally for all of the requests that go to the model, right? The ML models. So we don't want that. We want one request going into our network. Everything happens in AWS, so we avoid that. We avoid the data ingress and outgress, but then of course we have hosting fees. So we'll see, you know, we'll see what's better. But yeah. And then we return the result as like one request. How hard it is to manage a monorepo with Next.js, a Python AI service, and a tRPC backend. Considering DX, CI/CDEs, and cloud services, this approach good for modularity and scaling. We'll figure that out. We can have like GitHub actions that get triggered only when we make a change in a specific folder. So if we make a push that modifies packages/web, we're only going to trigger React build only then. But if we have a push that changes the Django backend, not the web action is not going to be triggered, right? So we can selectively trigger specific actions based on what parts of the monorepo have been modified in that commit. So I guess that's how we can, you know, that's how we can manage this. Right, definitely the AWS with serverless SageMaker. I think that's going to be like the cheapest way, and then we can use for SST for the React one. Yeah, because we have, yeah, SST for the React one. Okay, then we have, we need to set up Django and React projects, both of these, then at the very beginning, we are not going to need any of these things. There's not gonna be any AWS, there's not gonna be anything. First, we'll just focus on Django, okay? We're gonna mock all of the AI stuff. We're just gonna fake it until we make it. But the idea is that we focus on Django, build like a React application that interfaces with interacts with the Django backend, and it basically works perfectly. You know, it has the authentication, it has the validation, it has the API is connected and everything. There's not gonna be any AI functionality. You know, we'll just return static data. We're not gonna be triggering any stuff. Once we have that, you know, because that's also part of a big part of this live stream is also to learn Django. Once we have something that works nicely in Django, we can then start to look into, you know, AWS and all these things. So that's the general idea for this project. We'll start with Django, but then much later we're gonna start to look into AI stuff. All right, set up Django on React. What else do we need? Because we have these features, we have the configure authentication, and I'm thinking we just use the Django built-in authentication, which is just username and password. No need to do Google or GitHub at the very beginning, although GitHub is free, and it's easy to implement, so we could look into that. But yeah, at this time, we're just gonna use Django and Django only, and not any, you know, extra plugins, just so we can see what Django can do and what Django can't do, and you know, and then how the rest of the ecosystem fills those holes basically. But yeah, we need to configure authentication. We need to configure file upload. And once we upload it at the very beginning, once we, you know, while we're in the proof of concept stage, we're just gonna keep the file locally or in like a Docker volume, for example. But then later, when we actually go and deploy and, you know, have someone use this, when we want to test it out publicly, we are going to use S3. So we're going to be keeping all of the, you know, resumes and PDFs. Everything's going to be on S3. Cool. We also need to figure out a database. But we are going to do that later. Figure out a DB, and that DB is going to be like either Postgres on an EC2 instance, which is going to be like long running, or the managed Postgres. What was the name? The AWS service, the hosted PostgreSQL, RDS. Yeah. AWS RDS. So RDS is a managed service. I don't know cost-wise how, you know, how costly it is. I think it should be like $40-ish per month, which is, you know, for like a not so serious project, is definitely salty. But we can always use an EC2, at least for the, you know, for the beginning. That means no backups, no, you know, fancy features like that. We're just gonna like run it on an EC2, pay, I don't know, $4 or $5 per month, and that's gonna be our Postgres database, right? All right, this will be helpful. I've always had a love or hate relationship with Django, so I'm excited to see how you handle it. Interesting, you know, good to hear. But yeah, let's see. All right, yeah, we're gonna need to figure out the database at the, as I mentioned, in the proof of concept stage. Like now, we're just gonna have one Docker compose that's going to be running on my machine. No AI, no AWS. We're gonna look into that much later, and we can refactor some of the parts that are going to be different later. But yeah, will I design the UI of the application yourself? Yeah, I will design the UI of the application myself. I mean, it's not going to be anything complex. We might use Tailwind with that, what was the name, Shadcn, the Shadcn library, or the Radix. I mean, it is Radix, right? Radix UI. It is Radix under the hood, so we can like look into these libraries, you know, have as much ready-made components as we can, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, there's also like Chakra UI, and Chakra have pushed 3.0 Arc Chakra, of course. Yeah, see that, Winky? Yeah. I used to be a core member in Chakra UI. Sibren, you are still a core member, I believe. So yeah. And I haven't checked out the 3.0 updates just yet. So this might be fun. Yeah. Okay, so but yeah, we're gonna use something like that. That's basically it. At the very beginning, everything is on one laptop, my laptop. It's gonna be Docker. The database is gonna be in Docker. Django is gonna be in Docker. Even like React is going to be in Docker, the React part. So I'm basically just going to do Docker compose up. Everything is, you know, booted up. All the containers are set up, and that's our development environment, basically. Or just have, you know, the database in Docker, but everything is like, yeah. All right, so I guess we can start with this then. These things, I wouldn't do this now. I would just cut these out, and we can have like multiple to-dos. I'm gonna push these below to do, and then I'll say after proof of concept, right? We're gonna do a POC version first, a proof of concept version. That's not gonna use any services like AWS or SageMakers or SSDs or whatever. This is just the POC to do. Set up Django, configure authentication, you know, pick a library. Can you make a Django plus React site without knowing coding in AI? Like, can I make a Django plus React website without knowing machine learning? Yeah, it has nothing to do with AI or stuff like that. Django is just a web server for Python, right? It's not anything AI related, but because it's Python, I picked Django because we're gonna be using Python, and we also want to learn Python. So AI or not, Django is just a web server. It's like Node.js, but for Python, right? Maybe that was like a bad example, but yeah, that's how much Django I know. Okay, so we got the interesting resources, a little, you know, to do that, which we will evolve down the line. We got some name suggestions. We had another one that I saw in the chat. Job space AI. Let's add that one. Job space AI. Let's keep this one as well. We can circle back later in one of the, you know, future episodes and figure out the name. Maybe we can do that like after the POC. Was it Command Shift 7? There we go. Settle on a name. Yep. Digital Alchemist, Lazar with the fire, like always. Yep. All right, so right now, what I want to do is basically close all of these things. Okay. Do we want a diagram? Do we need a diagram? Here's the web app. Here's the Django app. They're going to interface like this. Both lines. And this is going to be the API server, right? And there's going to be a SageMaker, let's say. Here's the SageMaker. And then this part is gonna interface with this part like this, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. Might have like an email. What is it? SSE? SSE, come on. AWS email service. SES, okay, there we go. Simple email service, yeah. We might have an SES. So, for example, when users register, we want to send them an email, you know, it's gonna be one way like this, etc. But yeah, basically we're going to have also a Postgres database somewhere here in the backend. The Django application is going to interface with that. So you see what's the like general idea. We only have a web application like this. Django sits in the middle of everything, and then we have all of these different services from Amazon and databases and stuff that basically help us achieve the functionality and the features that we need for this application to work, right? Actually, just do this real quick, and then we'll go and create a repository in GitHub and everything. There we go. So yeah, all in all, roughly this is how things are going to work. All right, let's see some comments quick about the AI side of the app. Will it be like a retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, where you would feed the LLM the user's profile? Yeah, I didn't speak to that. So I want to use the correct like machine learning models where applicable. There's always that, you know, for example, when you start thinking about how, like, I'm going to build an AI application. Okay, it will do this and this and this, right? We already are at that point. And then you start to think, okay, am I just going to use the OpenAI API, one godlike LLM, and we'll just ping that LLM? That's one approach, which I think is not good for, you know, not a good idea to have one mega LLM. First of all, hosting it will be a nightmare. SageMaker, what is SageMaker? That's the machine learning hosting tool service by AWS. It's basically going to keep our models there, and it's going to give us an endpoint which will ping from the Django API. Actually, what am I doing? It's going to give us endpoints that we can interact with our models. And then when we want to, I don't know, generate an optimization for a specific CV, we are going to use that endpoint, give it the data or to that model, and tell it to do something, and it's going to return us that data here in the API, and then the API returns that to the web, basically. But yeah, when thinking about building apps with AI, you would think maybe I can have like one mega LLM, because that's like general knowledge, right? Like a general intelligence. It can basically do anything. But it will be an overkill, because hosting it will be a pain, right? So you would need to have like a really big model that contains all of the knowledge for your application that you need. I haven't looked into RAG, like how that works. I think RAG is when you do, like as part of your query, you provide the data, and then you say, okay, from this data, give me that. That's the RAG, right? It's not like trained. It doesn't contain your knowledge. It's like a general model, but you give it the data first, and then you give it the prompt. From this data, do this, you know? Hey, Pozdrav. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, if I understand, that's RAG. I don't think we want to do this, or maybe we should be doing that. The idea is that I want to break apart all of the break apart the features into much smaller problems, like super tiny problems, and see which of those tiny problems we can solve with code, because that is the right. AI is basically the crutch. we don't have knowledge on how to achieve this. We're just gonna like, you know, just like cover it up with AI. So LLMs might not always be the best solution. I did some, let me actually pull this up. I did some, just find the, okay, there we go. Check this out. This is ChatGPT, and I spoke with ChatGPT about this, and basically I asked it, what are the different ML models and what are their use for? So for example, stuff like linear regression, right? It's used to predict a continuous value based on input features, like for example, housing prices, right? You feed it data, you define all of the parameters, like, I don't know, if we're talking about housing prices, you feed it the number of rooms or the square footage or the location and, you know, that price and etc. etc. So you basically describe the house or the domain. In this case, if it's a house, you describe the domain, you describe the house through all of these facts, and then train the model based on the data. And then the next time someone asks, how much should I, you know, sell or, you know, list my house for, it'll say, based on the data that I have been trained on, your house should be this many dollars, right? For example, Zillow used that. So if we need to predict something, instead of using an LLM, we should use linear regression models, right? Because they're super lean, super small in comparison to LLMs, because LLMs are everything. And this is just one thing, and it does it, you know, as best as you can train it to do. So if we need performance and ease of deployment and not having to have like monster servers behind our application, you know, just like breaking down all of the problems into smaller pieces and seeing what we can fix or achieve with code, and the things that we cannot, use a very specific model for that thing, right? For example, there's like logistic regression, classification tasks, right? There's like I saw something here that we can use, by the way, what was that? Yeah, like for example, I don't know, random forest, right? It's builds multiple decision trees to improve accuracy. Was it that? No, it wasn't that. But yeah, support vector machines, classification tasks for text categorization, right? Let's say that we're gonna use like a neural network to parse the, you know, get like a natural language processing into play, and basically like get all of the keywords, React, Docker, senior, junior, you know, from the CV itself, and then we can probably use something like a vector machine to classify all of those keywords, put them into buckets, build the profile that way. Maybe that's gonna be an overkill, I don't know, we'll see. Or we can just use regex to pull all of the, you know, to pull all of the keywords from the CVs. That's also a valid solution. So that's what I'm thinking, like get familiarized with all of the different machine learning models that are out there as tools. Break apart all of the problems that we're trying to solve in as smaller pieces as we can, and then we're going to attack them with a specific model instead of just throwing an LLM, just like, you know, what was that, when you see LLMs as a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Yeah, we're not gonna be looking at LLMs as like the ultimate machine learning model, because yeah, it does work. It's easier to prototype stuff with because it can do anything, right? Here's a bunch of data, summarize this for me, or here's a bunch of data, predict what's gonna be this, or, you know, basically it can mimic all of these other models, but it's just gonna be super slow. And it requires, you know, GPUs and stuff like that. Some of these models don't even require a GPU to be run, you know. So GPUs are expensive, CPUs are cheap. LLMs are slower for specific things. And these other models, like a custom tailored model or model built for that specific purpose, is always going to be faster than an LLM. And yeah, my idea is to just familiarize ourselves through this live stream, basically familiarize ourselves with the machine learning ecosystem. And if it doesn't make sense for us to use an LLM, but we need to use a support vector machine, we're going to learn what support vector machines are, how they work, the math behind it, etc., and try to build one and solve that problem. But having this application, like the resume application and the purpose of it, I think that's going to be easier than just taking a Coursera course. I tried that like years ago. I don't know, like 10 years ago, I tried running the machine learning course on Coursera from Andrew NG, and I was like a 0. I don't even remember a bunch of stuff because it's like school, you know. I tried to apply it. I didn't have an app. I didn't have an idea. I had nothing. But right now, we're going to learn machine learning through trying to achieve an actual thing, right? So that's how I manage to, you know, that's how I plan to approach building this project, basically. Yeah, so it is gonna be really fun. I need to go have an exam about that data science tomorrow. Good luck. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. All right. Yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do in this live stream. Oh, hold on. Let me just. There we go. And this is like roughly. This is not a beautiful diagram, and it's gonna grow. But yeah, we're gonna have so much fun. Now we have about like 45 minutes until the end of this live stream. I just wanted to, you know, take the chance to introduce all of you to the project, but we can actually start and yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Edward, it's gonna be really fun. But yeah, I guess we can like start creating the repo at least, right? So I'm just gonna go on GitHub and just create one. We don't have a name, but I'm just gonna rename it later. All right, repository name. How do we call the name? We need a code name, not an app name. Actually, let's do this. Let's use that joke I used, you know, like we're working on an AI project. We're gonna be like, I'm gonna become a millionaire, so the repository name is gonna be Millionaire. How about that? Okay, it's gonna be an empty repository because we wanna like basically start it off as a new repo. There we go. Now it's created. Let's open up Kitty. CV Hero. Oh, I like that. I like that goes in here. CV Hero. Yeah. All right. City into projects. Make a directory. Millionaire city into millionaire, and I need git init here. Actually, I'm gonna do Tmux new session millionaire. Yeah, that's how we're gonna call it. Okay, I'm gonna create one more window. This is like my usual setup in Tmux. I have Vim in this window, and I have terminals and stuff like that in this window. So yeah, we have the init. We need. I'm gonna open up Vim here. Oh, look at that. All right, yeah. That's the change log. I'm gonna just write a simple millionaire AI plus Django plus ML plus React, and I'm gonna split these two on purpose, you know, plus, I don't know, fun and games. Yeah, plus resumes. All right, this is just so I can, you know, have something to commit and push. And then we commit, we add the README, we do the commit, the branch is already on main, and we just need to add this origin to the remote, right? So git add README, git commit Let the games begin. Doesn't make sense, but you know, doesn't have to. Then we need to add this remote origin, and then we just do git push with the upstream set origin main. Bam, there we go. Okay, so hit refresh and we're going to see Millionaire here. There we go. We have the repo. And what's cool about this is now, let me just do an update. This is like a daily thing that I need to do. Now I have lazy git. So there we go. I'm not gonna be doing git commands from this point on. Anything I change like this and save it, I'm gonna have it here. I'm gonna see what's the change. I can stage it. I can commit it like this. Yeah, this is basically how we are going to work now. Okay. Now I want to create a folder. Services, packages. It's not like a package, right? We're not talking about packages. Services, apps. Let's do apps. Yeah, because we're gonna keep the React app inside, the Django app, the whole shebang. And there we go. Apps. Inside of apps, I'm going to create the web, the API inside, and we're also gonna need a compose.yaml file. This is going to be the Docker file that is going to spin up the Postgres database. So I'm gonna go into the flashcards repository, and this is open source, by the way. Yeah, let me actually share this if someone, you know, finds it useful. In this application, I have packages and I have API and web. API is Django, web is Next.js, and I have a compose file that ties everything together. So if you want to see how that, you know, how I do that, there it is. So I'm gonna copy only the services DB here, Postgres 16, container name, Millionaire DB, just so it doesn't clash with my other Docker stuff. Let it be Postgres, and the database Millionaire. We might need to change this later and might have like issues with it, but yeah, let's just go with the flow. 5432 is the correct port. We might even change it. This is from the outside. This is within, so this should not change because it's Postgres. This one, we can just like put it as we want. But because I'm not gonna have any other Docker projects running, it can stay like this. We're gonna have an app network defined, so we also need to go get that, and also the volume. All right. There's the app network, and there's also the DB data volume. Where's the volume? Yeah, DB data, we already have that. There's a migration going on, and I do need to run this because it is it's a Django thing. So migration, it's not going to be packages this time. It's going to be apps/API. That's where the Django lives. I don't think I need a Docker file. Or actually I do need a Docker file for this. Yeah, okay. We are gonna have a Docker file anyways. So what we need to do is just Python manage.py, hit migrate, and that's basically going to apply all of the migrations that we define. Cool. The DB name was Millionaire. Let's see. Millionaire. Yeah. This remains the same. The host is DB because this is the host, this service right here. And that's about it. Now, we're not gonna do the rest of the services like the API and also the web. We can just, npm run and Python manage.py run server them. I think having hot reload in Docker, this, by the way, this does support hot reload. I forgot to mention, so you might be interested in this. Some of you might be interested in this. So when you run this API and you look at the Docker file, you're gonna see that it's basically a dev environment for Django that does have like hot reload. So anything you change is going to be automatically reloaded. It's basically like, running it locally. But I'm not gonna do that. There's literally no no real reason for this. Yeah, just the migration and the database, the stuff that has to do with the database, and everything else will be as it is. All right, so that looks like okay. Let's scaffold the project. Let's go to Django project and see how we started Django projects. Writing your first Django, create a project. So Django tutorial, Django admin. There's the command. When you don't want to install Python on your machine. Yeah, we're gonna use a virtual environment, but definitely I put everything in a Docker, and you know, your machine doesn't even know it's running Python. Yeah, so we're gonna start the project, my site Django tutorial, the project name, my site inside a Django tutorial directory. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna cd into apps where I have the API, and I'm gonna do Django admin start project. API, it's gonna be, I don't know, let's say millionaire API underscore this time, not dashes, and then just do the API as the folder. So this should scaffold the project for us. Let's go back and check it out. There it is. There's the manage.py. I don't like this. Inside of the API, there's a minute. Okay, yeah, this is cool. This is okay. This is the main app. We're gonna create separate apps for like users and stuff like that. But yeah, this is basically our Django application. Cool. All right, what else? We need the React application. And as I mentioned, React router. We're gonna try to use React router. Why not? You know, it's gonna be like all localhost anyways. The React router 7.0 is, I think, out. There's a, yeah, React 19. Well, it's still not like stable yet. But yeah, we are going to start with the new version so that we have less headaches moving forward. Yeah, and then React router v7 is basically remix. Yeah. Right. Let us, yeah, multi-strategy router for React, because it also has like server-side rendering and stuff like that. But we are just gonna do the npx command, my React router app. I'm just gonna copy this part right here. I'm going to cd into web, and let's do millionaire web, and just like put it here. Install React router version 7.0.1. That's good. Initialize a Git repository. No, we already have. Install dependencies with npm. Yes, please. Why React router? Not this is not CRI. I think React router is Vite. Yeah, I think it is Vite. Let's see. I haven't worked with React router like really into the past. I do know some things, but let's check it out. Yeah, so I'm just gonna move everything here, and I'm gonna remove the millionaire web here. Maybe I should have done that before, but yeah. Okay, here's the web. We have the app, node modules. Of course, we need to git ignore them. There's a whole bunch of Docker files, which is good. I appreciate that. It also has the bun one. There's a package.json, and there's vite config ts. So yeah, it is running Vite. That's good. It already has Tailwind pre-installed. Yeah, might as well use the shadcn thingy. Why not? Make this, much easier. So yeah, let's see the Docker file real quick. So from node 20 Alpine, this is going to be the dev dependencies. Run npm ci. And then the production, you copy the package JSON and lock. into the app folder, and then you do npm CI with omitting the def, so it's faster, the installation is faster. For the build environment, we copy everything to the app, and then we copy everything from the development dependencies into node modules. From the development dependencies node modules, we run build, and then for running this, we copy package JSON from the production dependencies, which was this. We copy the node modules. From the build environment, we copy the actual build, and then we just do npm run start. Easy peasy, right? It also comes with bun. If you want to use bun, might as well use it. You know, everything is new in this project, so let's just go all in. We're gonna use bun. All right, so yeah, that looks good. We're not gonna need these Docker files. I was just like curious to see what's inside of them. But now, let's do this. This is the web. Do I have bun? I do have bun, right? So bun starts. No. Oh, it's bun def, not start, because we haven't built the application. So if we go to localhost 5173, was it? Yeah, we have the application running. Beautiful. All right, that's done. Let's go back into the API. And now you wish you had the confidence to use new things like there's no confidence. No, we're just, you know, you should just be willing to, it's different when you sit on this in front of the camera. I'm just willing to, you know, potentially make a fool out of myself, but you know, it's just for the fun. We got nothing to lose. Hey Nick, thanks for joining, man. All right, so we are in the API. What I'm gonna do now is create a virtual environment. So Python 3, because that's, you know, on Mac OS, I'm going to execute the vn command and just create a virtual environment here in the API. There we go. Now I'm going to source and activate that virtual environment, and we can see that it's recognized. So I'm gonna go back to the web, open, and I'm just gonna open manage.py, and you see this error right here. I'm gonna do this now. Vn select, it's a NeoVim plugin, and here's the project. You know, here's the virtual environment. Select this. It's registered, but now I need a requirements.txt file. And again, I'm just gonna go back to my flashcards repository and check out this requirements file. We're not gonna get everything, so I'm not gonna use Django Ninja. I'm not gonna use Grok. That's a different AI type of thing. Rough is good. PsychoPG, that's for the Postgres database. Rough is the linter. PyTest is just for unit tests. Typing extensions for types in Python. I have no like serious experience around this, so this is going to be fun. We have Django environment for loading environments, like environment variables and stuff. Django itself and ASGI ref. What is this? What's ASGI ref? ASGI is a standard for Python asynchronous web apps. Okay, so oh yeah, in case you're using the asynchronous server. I don't think we will be using the asynchronous server. And we might as well just use the WS, which, yeah. Python types are simpler than TS. Yeah, I got that impression as well. Do we need this? I don't know if we need this. I don't even know why I had it in the other project, to be honest. I think, yeah, I think I just, that other project had it, and I just like copy pasted because I had no idea what I'm doing. WSGI to ASGI. Let's actually check the ASGI py. Get ASGI application, and there's the application. So we're not really doing this. yeah, might as well just delete it. If, you know, if it causes an issue, we'll just go back and re-add it later. But we have the requirements, right? This is, for those of you who don't know, the requirements txt is something like package.json. You're listing all of your dependencies. And now let's go back to manage and look at the error. I'm gonna go do, if I do which pip, it's going to say that it's in the virtual environment pip. So everything is like, you know, sealed up in a virtual environment. We're not using anything from like the global version. So pip install -r requirements. This is basically npm install, right? Oh, look at this. Let's see. pgconfig executable not found. Yeah, I've seen this. Let's see. Is required to build psychopg2 from source. Please add the directory containing pgconfig to the path. Well, I feel like I have. If you prefer to avoid building, install the PyPy psychopg binary. Oh, maybe that's what we need to do, right? Instead of psychopg2, psychopg2 binary. This one, 2.9, there's a minor, 2.9.10. Yeah, okay, let's try it with this one. Install again. There we go, no issues. Okay, so are we latest in Django as well? 5.1.3, 5.1.1. All right, yeah, let's get everything up to date. Might as well just leave these without any versions, but that's like dangerous, right? Install this again and check this out now. When this is installed, I'm gonna go here, right? We have basically, there we go, the error is gone, right? So the LSP picks up on the virtual environment and basically knows what Django is, and that it has a .core and it has a management package, and that it has the execute from command line inside of that management package. So now our LSP is configured, and that means we can, you know, we can do this. Really cool. All right, git ignore, please. .git ignore, because this is, if I push this, it's the end of the world. So I'm gonna add apps/API/virtual environment, because that's node modules basically. I'm going to add a bunch of these things as well. Node modules, definitely apps, web node modules. There's a .react router. I have no idea what that is, but it looks generated to me. Generated types for route. Should we push this? I feel like React Router should have something on this, because it did ask me if I want to create like a Git repo, right? And if I said yes, I expected to also generate a git ignore. So let's see. Examples. Yeah, just basic. There's a git ignore, not modules, dist, and .local. So we're not supposed to ignore the .react router, right? And the ds store, of course, it's just Mac. Dist and dist SSR are anything this, and also local. I don't see anything local here. See if this still works. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, we don't have anything local here, so might as well just add it. Apps, web, anything .local should be ignored. And these, we're gonna be using Docker anyways, so yeah, I'm not gonna add these as well. ZS asks, is async Python code similar to JavaScript? I have no idea. I haven't written async Python code. Maybe this is a reason to do async, but we'll see. Okay, so this looks good. If I open lazy git, we're gonna see these as new files, and that's correct. We're going to see the React router types, routes, welcome, all of these things, the Docker files. Now everything looks correct. Before I push though, I just want to do this. Hey Gabriel, it has been a while. Yeah, thanks for joining. I want to do this. Do I have Docker running? I don't. Let's boot up Docker, and we're gonna start the database. But before doing that, I want to go and avoid any migration stuff from happening because we don't have models, we don't have anything like that. All right, Docker should be running. Is it here? I'm not. Oh, there we go. Docker should be running, and I have the flashcards container, but not this one. So if I just do Docker compose up, we should see. There we go. The Millionaire DB. Oh, ports are not available. Yeah. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna get out of Tmux. I'm gonna go into the flashcards, create a new for flashcards just in case, and I'm gonna do Docker compose down. Ooh, okay, this is not started. This is not the one that I'm thinking of. So Tmux kill session t flashcards and go back to the Millionaire. I didn't need to. I should just do this. Okay. When we're talking about running containers, all I can do is just go back to containers and just delete the whole flashcards project. So now we have the Millionaire container, and inside we only have the DB. So if I do Docker compose up now, we should. Ports are not available. Oh, come on. Address is already in use. Docker PS. What was that? I think I had, yeah, kill port 5432. Let's do this and then Docker compose up again. Nope. All right, so there apparently there is something on this port, and I've had this issue before. I have no idea how to fix it, but I just want to say hi to Jonas. Love your content, and yeah, appreciate your comment. All right, let's figure this out. Docker Postgres SQL port 5432 already in use. What was that? Yeah, ls off doesn't show you any output. You can do sudo to see what process is bound to this. Of course, we don't have the SS. That might be like a Linux command, but ls off doesn't show us anything. Oh, service. And so no, that was like brew services. I think brew has services. There's MySQL and there's Unbound, but MySQL is not listening on 5432, right? System control. Let's try system control then. This is still a Linux command. Damn it. There is netstat at least, so let's see if netstat gives us that 5432. Not a valid command. PG, what was that? Command. I'm gonna open Better Keep because I have some local databases here, And I just want to like test these out. Test error establishing connection. Let's go to ETB tests. Connection looks good, but yeah, this is right here. Clean architecture is a SQLite. So the only thing on 5432 is this one, and apparently I can't really connect to it because yeah. So why Docker Compose up gives me this? Docker Compose, let's do down. Docker Compose. I'm just gonna like pass build to like rebuild this. No, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do I have an issue with my 5432? Nope. Doesn't look I do. Yeah, so you see, weird stuff. Address is already in use, but if I try to kill that on port, it says no process is hogging that port, which is really weird. There is a Postgres, you see? But it doesn't seem like it's from Docker. Maybe it's just a, yeah, you see? There's a volume and only one volume is in use, the millionaire DB data, and the other ones are not, so they're not also using the, there's that Postgres from, oh, how about this? Oh, where did you see that? Let's see. But this is Supabase. But Supabase does have, let's see, npx Supabase stop. Now let's go back to Millionaire and to Docker Compose up. Nope, still. Yeah. I can change the port, but I also saw something here. Which one is this? So I'm gonna do Docker Compose down. So that was it. That was it. So there's no volume, there's no containers running in Docker, but there's still Postgres on that port. How? Where is this coming from? PG, there was a command. There was a command, pgctl control or pg something. Nope, no such keg. So it's not from Homebrew then. It's not the application as well. Yeah, if I just restart the PC, you're all on your own. We're not gonna do that. Let me just get to the bottom of this. It's really weird. Postgres CLI commands. Let's see. PSQL. And what does it do? Postgres stop server. Shutting down the server. pgctl. That's the program. That's the one that I refer to. Convenient interface to send these signals to shut down the server. Oh, you mean like brew uninstall adds 14? Yeah. I don't have it installed. I know that every time I needed Postgres, I just, you know, spun up like a Docker stuff, a Docker container. What's this? Dash user dash local pg There's no PGSQL. So this is also, what is this? Where is Postgres running? This system control, it's on Linux, not on Mac OS. Maybe Mac OS. PGCTL. I don't even have that. So you see, this is a really weird situation. Brew services only did MySQL, but looking at the LSOF, we can clearly see that this is a Postgres. Let's do pkill -9 1545, and let's do the LSOF again. Oh, still up. You see that? All right. Oh, look at that. Apparently there's like an application, but it's like Postgres 13. See that? There's data and there's stuff. Well, let's try this then. But I don't have this. And this. So if I run this, it's not gonna work. Very weird. Let me see if it's an app, it's gonna show up here. It's in the library, but no, it's not an app. So that means I can just like remove anything in here, right? Because I don't want to have anything. Oh yeah, of course, permission denied. I don't want to have anything Postgres. It won't let us now, of course. This might not even be PDF kit. What is this? Yeah, it's not even Postgres. Something else. Okay, this is very weird. I had a straight Docker container running Postgres that I have forgotten about. Well, lucky you. Even with -a, it's not. Okay, well, look, in this case, we're just gonna change this. 3 then, you know, 5433. Docker compose. Up. And what can we do? It has to be this, you know. I'm going to see later what's up with 5432. Try to fix it. But our database right now is removing your super user. I mean, that's not Postgres, something else, probably. I don't know. There we go. Postgres 16 on a different port. So now if I bring up the almost the Beekeeper Studio, that is so weird. Yeah, if I bring in Beekeeper Studio and try to like create a new connection, it's gonna be a Postgres. It's going to go to localhost 5433. I don't feel like we have a user yet. Oh, it is the default. Postgres and password. If I test it, there we go. Connection looks good. You don't see it, but yeah. Let me just fix this real quick. Stream Deck camera. There it is. So if I do this, there it is. There we go. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, just wanted to hide the camera and show you this. Connection looks good. That means we are able to, you know, connect to this database. Right. So we didn't give it a name, but it's all right. there's the millionaire database. If I hit reload, we can see we don't have any entities, right? It's just PG catalog and information schema. There's no public. But once we set up Python, once we set up Django and run the migrations, that's going to create the public folder and then also all of the tables that we're going to be using. But in general, yeah, it's going to be a Postgres database. We might want to, you know, aside from the Postgres, might want to have like a Redis somewhere, you know, for caches and stuff like that. Since, you know, we're working with AI stuff that, you know, get generated sometimes rather slow, we need to cache as much as we can, otherwise it's gonna be, yeah. No, it's running on 5433. The logs that you see are from within the container, you know. So inside it is 5432, but outside it's 5433. That's what we you know needed to do. All right, so Postgres is up. We can run. Let's see. We should be able to run this. I'm gonna create a new one, cd into apps and API. I'm going to source the virtual environment and then do Python, which is like which Python, just in case. There we go. So Python manage.py run server, hit allow. We have 18 unapplied migrations. Your project may not work properly until you apply the migration for apps, admin auth, content types, sessions, all of these things. All right, so I'm gonna stop this because we can see that it's running. Actually, yeah, run the server. Let's go to localhost 8000, and here's the Django project running successfully. So that's done. What I wanna do now is look at the migration, just real quick, because this is the command. We have nothing to build, right? Yeah. Or do we? Yeah. So if we run this in CI and do just python manage.py, the manage.py is just gonna break because it'll say there is no dependencies installed. You're like, what the hell is Django, right? For now, I'm just gonna like delete this and we can run the migration now. And Django is going to, let's see, 5432. It's gonna be 5433. Actually, yeah. Host is DB, but is this outside or inside? It's gonna be outside. Yeah. Just a random thing. Teach me that pen trick. Yeah, let's actually do that. Add that to the to-do lists for when we hang out in person next time. Okay. Yeah, let's just go with 5433. I feel like it needs to be the, you know, the outside port, not the one from the within, because this migration script is not gonna try to, you know, get into the container itself. So 5433 does make more sense. This is the default. Let's just go with that. Then the host is DB, of course, that one up there. So if I just close this and do docker compose up again, we should see a lot more. We should see a public, and it should have like admin and, you know, session and stuff like that. Build context specified. Come on. So apparently, keep the context, but there's not going to be any Docker files. Can we do that? Of course, we can't. All right, in that case, I'm going to go back because we have like 5 minutes. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to like rip the Docker file. from my other project. And you know what the hell? Let's just go with it. Dockerfile -dev, because this is with like hot reload and stuff like that. Ooh, I need a Docker LSP. No, come on now. Okay, this is wild. What is going on? Apps API dockerfile.dev. I need a I have Docker compile, and I also have a Dockerfile language server. So why is it not running? That's really weird. Should at least have like some highlights and stuff, syntax highlights. Let me just do LSP info. It says Docker compose language server. Yeah, but there's Docker ls as well. That's weird. I felt like I wanted to see, I expected to see that. Let me just do this real quick. Sorry about this. Patience. And we'll figure it out. I just want to see if my NeoVim configuration should have Docker. Yep, it does have Docker. Okay, well then it's something else then. I'm not gonna care about it. This is all there is to run this as like a Docker, a development environment. So was that image? Dockerfile -dev. Okay, so now, right? Now if I do Docker compose up, it's going to build that image and it's going to apply the migrations. Okay, so first we wait for the Postgres database, and now we see, oh, app source manage.py. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I need to do some changes to this because of the difference in the file. Yeah, the manage.py is not in source, it's just right there at the root. But yeah, it waits for the, damn it, should have named that as well. Migration is just container name. Yeah, everything is going to be prefixed with millionaire dash. So DB, migrations, API, web, everything is going to be prefixed. DB is booting up. Migrations are waiting. Again? Oh. Now we need to like dash build this and like force rebuild it so it sees that there's like a new path now. It's manage.py is not there anymore. Come on. Docker compose down. Docker compose up and then dash build. I think this was the case. Oh, hold on a second. I changed a different thing. Oh, damn it. There we go. I should have just changed this. Now we just need up. No need to rebuild anything. Migrations. See? So now when we go in Beekeeper, we're gonna see, hit refresh, we're gonna see public and then a whole bunch of tables inside public. Or not. What? Apply, running migrations, and apparently exited with code 0, which means it's all good, right? But I don't see those tables. How about that? All right, let me just like disconnect from this one and I'm gonna create a new Postgres. The default one is password, and I'm gonna put it on 5433. Test it. Connection looks good. So the DB name is called Millionaire. Let's test this again. Again, connection looks good. Well, it should look good. Like if it looks good, then that's it. And I'm just gonna save it, Millionaire. I'm gonna make it green because of the millions. All right, save this. If it works correctly and its connection is good. Very weird. Should have at least like select everything from public. There's no public. Admin does not exist. Okay, that's weird. But let's just go and do run server. What if I just do this then? Python manage.py migrate. And hit reload. See, it's like it's applying it somewhere. But where? Where's the database? Is it applying it to 5432? Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's where it applies the... It's 11 now, we need to go. Maybe that's where it applies the migrations. Let's see. Migrations are applied through this command, python manage.py migrate. So Django migrate. I want to see if we can like provide... Hold on, first of all, we don't really have migrations as I can see, so we might need to run make migrations. Let's do that. I think we're really ahead of us. So Python manage.py make migrations. This says no changes detected, but there's still migrations because of the admin and stuff like that. So let's see. Is the most capable, okay. Hold on a second. Not manage.py, but like settings. There's gonna be a DB stuff here, and we need to change that. No. Password validation, database, there we go. No, SQLite 3. We don't want that. Okay, I forgot that was there. Good, but that's good. Let's go to shared infra Django settings. What's the tech stack that I'm working with? Django for the API, React with React Router for the front end. There we go. See this? Okay. I'm just gonna paste this here, kill this here. env is not defined because we don't load it up there, but all the environment variables are there. So when we run let's just import this one as well at the very top. Oh, no, not that one, this one. Django React, yes, and Postgres. And we'll see about the AI stuff later. But look at this. We have the correct database now. I'm gonna delete DB SQLite 3 because we're not gonna be running SQLite. So let's give it a go now. Okay. Let's see migrations. If hold on a second. Port is here. 5433. Okay, that's good. Fingers crossed. What? Really? No migrations to apply? Apply all migrations. Admin, auth, content types. There should be tables here. These should be tables. So if I go to settings and then just do... What's a ternary? Ternary operator in Python. Let's see. Is it like in JavaScript? And our Copilot is dead, right? Of course it is. Oh, there we go. This, if that's the case. Otherwise, that one. True if condition, else something else. Okay, but in this case, if the environment variable exists, use its value. Otherwise, provide a hard-coded value. And let's see. Oh, there's a default in the .env. Okay, cool. Yeah. So default is going to be millionaire. Default is going to be Postgres. Default is going to be passwords. Those are the actual values. And I'm doing this because I want to run this through the command line. And when I run it through the command line, the environment variables are not going to be there. The hosts, interesting. What is the hosts? Local hosts. Probably local host 5433 or just local hosts. Django, Postgres SQL host. I think it should be just like, or 127.0.0.1. Let's try that then. 127.0.0.1. And then for the port, we want to do 5433. Type no value in function call. What? No value. What do you mean no value? Not set. So apparently it doesn't work. So apparently Copilot lied to us. Okay. env. What if you say env dot and see read env? No, that's the. What about get something? Get value. Okay, so there is a get value. Maybe that's what. Not true. This is a lie. It's not true. Okay, why is it this hard? Like I don't feel like it should be hard. Django environment variables fallback values. It's either this or in Python. But there should be. Okay, so it is the case with the with the defaults. No, but like this time it's not hallucinating. I think like this time the default is set to no set because of environment, like the package itself. Look at these. DB schemes, cache, DB underscore name. No, it's not there. But I saw this, the no set thingy. So that's weird. I don't know why. It's like a no set, no value actually. Very weird. But I'm just gonna run it anyway. I'm gonna type it all again now. Default password. I feel like I'm just gonna type it again and don't worry about anything. So migrate, when I run this, it should get, ooh, look at that. Ooh, okay. It cannot connect. Probably because of the environment variables. Oh no, connection refused. Well, of course the server's not running. Docker compose up. Yeah, let me just boot up the database. Okay, it's gonna work. It is going to work. So I'm not sure what no migrations is run here, but I'm just gonna try running it again. So it did apply all of these things, you see, and I expect to see, there we go. So we see public, and these are all of the tables that Django brings in, you know, and of course the plugins and middlewares like the user, permissions, content types, the admin, the migrations, the sessions. So now here, if I just query the migrations, we should see our migration. Select everything from public.django migrations like this, and look at them. The one that we just ran, and there's a date applied, right? This thing right here, all of these migrations that are built into Django. So we already ran these, and that's it. I'm not sure why the migration script didn't work, because apparently we do give these. Maybe we should just like rebuild it. Oh my god, hold on a second. Docker compose down, Docker compose up -- build. Well, now we do have the migration. Oh, come on. Okay, I know how to fix this. I think we needed to just rebuild it because we did change. There it is. You see that? 172.18.02 port 5433 failed. You see this? So now it is trying to do. Maybe it should be 2 this time. Maybe it should be 2. Let's see. But it's not 127.0.0.1. That means the host DB. That's the address. See, and now we have no migrations to apply. So I'm going to do this, Docker compose down. I'm going to go back into Docker and I'm going to remove the volume so that there's no database. So everything goes, you know, gets applied from scratch. There's millionaire DB data, and these are all of the stuff inside of the database. So you should just just delete yourself. And now Docker compose up -- build should recreate the volume, recreate the server, right, the Postgres database, and now we should also see the migrations getting applied. Look at that. Okay, and going back here, these should be different. 16.10, now it's 13. So if I rerun this, it should be 16.13. There we go. All right, so migrations are fixed. Now when we basically run Docker compose up, it is going to apply all the migrations for us. So when we add new models, it's gonna be that, you know. So I think at this point, we can just like push PyCache. We need to, we definitely need to ignore this as well. Let me just double confirm from my other project. Docker ignore, git ignore. Yep, PyCache, PyC, or PyO, or PyD, or PyClass. These things right here. Yeah, let's clean up a little bit. So I have one git ignore here, and it's for web and API. I'm just gonna like remove this and move everything into its folder. So .git ignore in the API is going to just do this virtual environment, you know, the PyCache folder, all these things. And here we have node modules and the everything .local. So I'm just gonna cut these, delete this one, go into web and add a .git ignore inside of it, and then just paste these without these prefixes. There we go. So it should still be pretty much the same. Yeah. Oh, hold on a sec. I need to add those first. This one and this one. New git ignores. Let me just like push them. And now we should not see node modules. There we go. You see? All right, so there's a compose. There's this as well. This is looking good. Scaffolding, apps. We don't have anything, but at least we have the projects where we can work in, and we can just, you know, simply do this. I don't know. I don't need this now, actually. So let me just delete all of these because we have fixed migrations. I'm not going to run them like this. Reverting weird env fallback in settings.py. Yeah. All right. So there we have it. We got the two projects. We can start typing, you know, we can start adding some code. We got migrations. We got a database. I think the dev environment, at least for the non-AI stuff, is pretty much done. So yeah, this was fun. You know, this was pretty cool. I gotta jump now. I gotta get something to eat, and I have a meeting in 15 minutes. But thank you for joining, everyone. This has been a pretty cool, good start of the series, I would say. And I'm pretty excited about the AI stuff. It's gonna be really cool. All right. Yeah, take care, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Again, reminder, the next stream is gonna be on Wednesday at the same time. Monday. There's a new day. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the same time. So yeah, again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you had fun. Join my Discord if you have any questions. Let me just put it up here. Creatures.sh. I don't have a channel created yet, but I will create a channel in there. So if anyone has any questions from, you know, these episodes, yeah, just join the Discord, and I'm gonna see all of you on Wednesday. Take care.